In the last episode of Keane's Ledger, we talked about the early years of Nikola Tesla, from his childhood up until the 1893 exposition, when Westinghouse used Tesla's patents to illuminate the skies over Chicago. Welcome to Electric Torrent Part 2. It was just before dawn in early 1895, and Nikola Tesla stood in the stillness of his Manhattan lab. Around him, coils pulsed with invisible energy. Sparks leapt through the air like tiny electric serpents. The experiment was ready. Within days, he would attempt to transmit a signal 50 miles up the Hudson River to West Point, without wires. A signal that would prove the world could be connected through the very air we breathe. But Tesla never made that transmission, because disaster struck. A fire, fierce and merciless, roared through the building that housed his life's work. Years of designs, prototypes, and notebooks turned to ash. The inferno didn't just consume equipment, it swallowed a moment in history. Tesla's dream of wireless power didn't begin with the fire, and it didn't end there either. Rewind to 1887, Tesla was immersed in high-frequency electricity experiments. His invention, the Tesla coil, wasn't just a marvel, it was a bridge to a future no one else could see yet. The coil amplified voltage and created resonant electrical fields, opening the door to wireless transmission. What Tesla discovered was revolutionary. If two coils were tuned to the same frequency, energy could pass between them. No wires, just resonance. This wasn't just about lighting bulbs from across the room, it was about sending signals across oceans. Tesla began experimenting with wireless communication, what we now call radio, years before most had even imagined it. By 1897, despite setbacks, Tesla filed his foundational radio patents. These weren't footnotes. They included patents 645,576 and 649,621, blueprints for wireless transmission that still stand as milestones. The U.S. Patent Office granted them in 1900. But while Tesla rebuilt in New York, another young man across the Atlantic was piecing together his own wireless ambitions. Guglielmo Marconi, Italian, brilliant, tenacious, and very much aware of Tesla's work. In November 1900, Marconi submitted his first American radio patent, but there was a problem. The U.S. Patent Office rejected it. Why? Because Tesla had already done it, already filed it, already been granted the rights. In fact, in 1903, the office flatly declared that Marconi's wireless claims were not patentable over Tesla patent numbers 645,576 and 649,621. They even added a biting comment. Marconi's supposed ignorance of the Tesla oscillator was little short of absurd. By then, the name Tesla was already etched in both scientific circles and everyday conversation. His oscillator had become, as one examiner put it, a household word on both continents. Still, Marconi would go on to win the Nobel Prize, and Tesla would be left in the shadows. But the science, the foundation of global radio transmission, that was Tesla's. So what might have happened if that fire in 1895 hadn't reduced his lab to rubble? If Tesla had succeeded in that 50-mile signal to West Point, would the world have known his name not just as a genius, but as the inventor of radio itself? We can't rewrite history, but we can remember it correctly, because in the flicker of those early sparks, in the hum of the Tesla coil, was the beginning of a wireless world. A world built not just on wires and circuits, but on vision, resilience, and the quiet brilliance of a man whose time has finally come. Coming up, Tesla's high-altitude lab. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Wind howled over the Colorado plains as storm clouds gathered above. Lightning cracked the horizon, streaking across the sky in jagged arcs. And beneath it all, standing in the open air beside a wooden lab unlike any the world had ever seen, was Nikola Tesla, eyes fixed on the heavens, listening. He wasn't afraid of the storm. He was waiting for it. It was 1899. Tesla had come to Colorado Springs chasing something other scientists had ignored, lightning as a natural gateway to global energy. He believed electricity didn't just need wires. It could flow through the earth itself. Why Colorado Springs? Tesla picked the location carefully. High altitude, thin air, frequent lightning storms. It was the perfect laboratory. There, at over 6,000 feet, he constructed massive coils and towering antennas. He tested theories that seemed impossible at the time. Wireless transmission of power using the planet as a conductor. He believed the Earth's surface and the charged layer above it, the ionosphere, could carry electric current like copper wire. And what he found, it wasn't just theory anymore. Tesla lit lamps wirelessly, measured resonance between the Earth and his coils, and concluded that global power transmission was not just feasible, it was practical. One experiment in particular became legend. Tesla pushed his coils to full power, sending pulses deep into the ground. Locals claimed they saw sparks leap from the ground and lights flickered dozens of miles away. Tesla wasn't just building machines, he was building a new vision for humanity. one where power flowed freely through the planet, no wires required. And while these experiments seemed like science fiction, they had a very real consequence: patents. Filed in 1897, granted in 1900, it laid out a system for transmitting electrical energy through the earth and sky. This wasn't about communication alone. Tesla's system was designed for power. The experiments in Colorado were only the beginning. Tesla returned to New York in 1900, carrying plans for something even greater. With funding from J.P. Morgan, he began building a new facility on Long Island. The name was Wardenclyffe. The mission? To prove his world wireless system could connect the globe, not just with messages, but with power. The tower rose 187 feet into the air, capped by a 68-foot dome. Beneath the soil, a network of copper and iron reached deep into the ground. It looked like something out of a dream or a prophecy. Architect Stanford White, one of Tesla's closest allies, helped design the structure. To many, it resembled a lighthouse, but it wasn't meant to guide ships. It was built to guide electricity around the world. Tesla saw Wardenclyffe as more than a transmission station. It was a prototype for a new age, an age of wireless power, free communication, and limitless reach. But there was a problem. Actually, several. The scope of the project ballooned beyond its original plans. Costs soared. And investors, including Morgan, grew nervous. They wanted returns. Tesla wanted revolution. By 1902, most of the construction was complete. But the money had dried up. Without further support, Tesla couldn't finish the system, and without proof of commercial viability, no one was eager to fund what sounded like science fiction. Morgan withdrew. The press turned skeptical, and slowly, the tower that promised a new world fell into silence. Tesla never stopped believing. Even into the 1930s, he continued refining his wireless transmission theories. But the tower was dismantled in 1917. Its copper sold for scrap during the war. The dream had collapsed, but the vision endured. Because today, wireless technologies, from radio and radar to satellite communications and inductive charging, all trace some part of their roots to Tesla's lonely tower on Long Island. He didn't live to see it work, but he planted the seed in the soil, in the sky, and in the minds of every inventor who came after. Coming up, we take a look at Nikola Tesla's personal life and his eccentricities. Stick around, you won't want to miss this. Nikola Tesla moved like clockwork. 3 steps forward, 3 turns around the building, 3 napkins to wipe down his silverware before a single bite. Nikola Tesla wasn't just a man of science, he was a man of ritual. And beneath the brilliance, behind the coils and currents, there lived a private storm few ever saw. Tesla's obsessive-compulsive disorder shaped every corner of his life. What looked like eccentricity to outsiders was, for Tesla, survival. His need for order, absolute immaculate order, wasn't a quirk. It was a compulsion. Let's start with his fear of germs. Tesla washed obsessively, avoided physical contact, refused to shake hands or touch doorknobs without protection. Some say he wiped down every surface before sitting. Others recall him rejecting gifts or letters if he believed they weren't clean. Cleanliness wasn't optional. It was sacred. But his deepest fixation, the number 3. Tesla structured his world around it. 3 turns around a building before entering. 3 steps counted. 3 napkins to clean his dishes. Every motion had to align with this number or he would start again. It gave him control when everything else felt uncertain. And then there was the matter of pearls. No one truly knows where their version came from. But Tesla couldn't stand the sight of them. If a woman wore pearls, he would walk away, refuse to speak, cancel meetings. The mere presence of those shimmering orbs triggered revulsion so strong it overpowered his ability to engage. He never married, he rarely touched others, and though he was admired, even idolized, Tesla remained distant by design. Intimacy required closeness, and closeness meant chaos. His world was ruled by invisible boundaries. Tesla's personal struggles weren't confined to social life. They shaped how he worked, lived, even slept. Amid all this, Tesla remained a man of astonishing intellect. He spoke 8 languages fluently: Serbo-Croatian, Czech, English, French, German, Hungarian, Italian, and Latin. That last one, Latin, wasn't just for show. It was essential. So much of science in the 19th century used Latin terminology. Tesla could read and write scientific papers in nearly any language on the continent. Born in the Austro-Hungarian Empire, this linguistic mastery wasn't uncommon for scholars of the region. But Tesla went further. He didn't just learn languages, he lived them, used them, built theories in them, and yet, for all his brilliance, he lived alone. As he aged, his compulsions deepened, his social circle shrank. Invitations went unanswered, letters unreturned, but his mind never stopped. Until the end, Tesla filled notebooks with new ideas, schematics, dreams, systems the world still hasn't caught up to, or rather didn't. Tesla claimed he needed only 2 hours of sleep each night. Instead, he worked in bursts, sometimes going days with only short naps. But this wasn't sustainable. His assistants reported moments where he'd collapse from exhaustion right there at his desk, overcome by the demands of his relentless mind. The neighbors, too, noticed. Late into the night, strange humming noises would echo from his lab, flashes of light, whirs, and bangs. They called the police more than once, thinking something terrible had happened, but it was just Tesla, chasing an idea oblivious to time, body, or sleep. So how do we remember him? As the man who electrified the world, or as the one who counted steps, avoided pearls, and feared the unseen? Maybe both. Because Tesla reminds us that genius isn't always clean or comfortable. It's often tangled with pain, bound by fear, fueled by forces beyond explanation. But through all the rituals, the storms, the silence, he never stopped reaching for something bigger, something invisible. And sometimes that's exactly where true power lives. Coming up, Tesla's later years and his scientific legacy. Stay tuned. It was winter in Manhattan. The wind rattled windows 33 stories above the city. And behind the closed door of room 3327 at the Hotel New Yorker, a Do Not Disturb sign swayed quietly on the handle. Inside, one of history's greatest minds had gone still. Nikola Tesla died alone on January 7th, 1943. He was 86, and though his last years were marked by poverty rumors and fading headlines, the truth is something more complex and far more remarkable. Let's go back. After the collapse of the Wardenclyffe Tower project and his worsening financial troubles, Tesla didn't stop inventing. Far from it. He kept filing patents, dozens of them. In fact, by the end of his life, Tesla had 112 registered U.S. patents with another 116 basic inventions protected across at least 26 other countries. France gave him 30 patents, the United Kingdom, 29, Germany, 21, Austria, 16. Each patent was a puzzle piece in the grand architecture of modern technology. His final U.S. patent, granted in 1928, was for an apparatus for aerial transport. Even in his twilight years, Tesla was dreaming of flight, not metaphorically, literally. And where was he living during these final chapters? Not in a back alley or a basement workshop. Tesla made his home in the Hotel New Yorker, one of the most luxurious hotels in the city at the time. 2 rooms, 33rd floor. Views of Manhattan stretching into the Hudson. He'd always preferred hotel life, clean, efficient, quiet. He never married, never kept a household. And in those final years, the Hotel New Yorker became both laboratory and sanctuary. Tesla didn't fade quietly. He continued to develop theories, some for peaceful energy, others for military technology. Visitors came often, admirers, scientists, journalists. Even as he aged, Tesla remained razor-sharp, driven by ideas no one else could quite follow. But on January 5th, 1943, Tesla placed the Do Not Disturb sign on his door and didn't take it down. 2 days later, maid Alice Monaghan entered the room despite the sign. She found Tesla in bed, lifeless, peaceful. The coroner listed the cause of death as coronary thrombosis, no mystery, just a quiet end. His body was examined, then moved to the Frank E. Campbell Funeral Home. A death mask was made by Hugo Gernsback, one of Tesla's earliest supporters in the world of science fiction and electrical innovation. That mask is now housed in the Nikola Tesla Museum. But here's where things take a turn. Upon hearing of Tesla's death, the U.S. government acted immediately. The Office of Alien Property seized his belongings, files, blueprints, devices, all transported under tight security. Why? Because Tesla had long claimed to be working on technologies that could change warfare and the world. Even in death, Tesla's ideas inspired both awe and suspicion. His funeral was held at the Cathedral of St. John the Divine, a grand service for a man often misunderstood in life. Former Mayor Fiorello LaGuardia was among those in attendance, a final recognition for a man whose genius had changed the shape of the modern age. And what exactly did he leave behind? Let's start with electricity. Tesla's alternating current system is the bedrock of global power distribution. The polyphase induction motor, it revolutionized industry. Today, about 90% of industrial motors operate using principles Tesla pioneered. His rotating magnetic field concept isn't just in factories, it's in your fridge, your washer, your subway train. Then there's radio. In 1943, just months after his death, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled that Tesla's patents held priority over Marconi's. A posthumous victory in the war of the airwaves. And wireless power? That dream he never fully realized? It's coming true. From phone chargers to electric vehicle pads, modern engineers are still chasing Tesla's vision. Slowly, surely. Even in medicine, his fingerprints are there. The Tesla is now a unit of magnetic flux density used in MRI machines, a nod to his work with high-frequency fields and electromagnetic resonance. And of course, there's that other Tesla, the car. Elon Musk's company didn't just borrow the name, it built its entire brand on Tesla's legacy: fast, efficient, electric. So what do we make of this man who once stepped off a ship with 4 cents in his pocket, a head full of ideas, and no one to greet him? He changed the world, not through marketing, not through politics, but through the relentless pursuit of knowledge for everyone's benefit, not just his own. Tesla's life teaches us something that transcends time. That visionary thinking, even when unappreciated in the moment, can echo through generations. He saw power flowing through the sky, machines moving without fuel, energy shared wirelessly across the globe, and though he didn't live to see it all, he saw it first. That wraps up our segment on Nikola Tesla. Thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed it and perhaps gained a better understanding behind the man himself. Join me again for another incredible look at history. I'm Trenton Keane, and you have been watching Keane's Ledger on the Media Glen. Please subscribe to our channel and feel free to leave a comment below.